we have a new chapter. And judging by the last one, we're about to see Imu pound some ancient giant ass. I mean, beat Loki. And hopefully, afterwards, after Luffy finishes his meal, we'll have another round between the two. Well, let's see. Chapter 1181. A god and a devil. I like it already. Who is the god and who's the devil, though? I feel like both of them are Imu. Memories from 14 years ago. We have a memory of Harald. I'm the worst king in Elbaf history. You must kill me and take the throne, Loki. Loki is remembering the final moments of his father. Before slaughtering him, he was forced to. He was only 144 at the end. Giants usually live to 300, not even half. He died way too soon. You tricked my dad, right? That makes you responsible for his death. The one suffered most from that inconvenience. It was Mu. Let the guy grieve, man. Loki's charging up Ragnar. Damn you! Back then, I don't care about how I'm remembered. That's not important. The only thing that matters is securing Elbaf's future. Harald's final words before dying while smiling. And don't forget the snow in the background. Somehow that will be important. I swear, a thunderbolt is descending from the heavens. Back then, what did you do to my father? Ragnar Izuchi, maybe? Izuki? Ragnar about to whack Imu. He was making that black cloud devil. The explosive one, right? Seems like he blocked it. Without much effort either. Can't believe he tanked that. What's with his black flames? That's the fucking 10th time this question has been asked. What sort of power do you have? Omen. What is he using? Gear third? Omen is simply Mu's military might. Thanks for the explanation. So we're about to see a new attack. Let's go. Gigantification? Its power dwells in all things. What? So now use the black flames to force a weapon, I guess, and clashes with Loki. Imu jumps in the air and hits from above. Nemesis. Whoa, what the fuck? Now it became a sword. It's like Yoru. He pierced the heart, I don't know, the center of the chest of Loki. Don't tell me he's done. Pretty fucking cool pose there from Imu. Jeez, Loki's down. Strength is an attribute people naturally crave. And yet, yes, Loki, get up. That craving can be easily satisfied via corruption. Are you talking about steroids? What are you talking about? A deal with the devil. It merely requires one to submit their will to a covenant. When their envy drives them, they'll achieve power. Envy? Those three things together form a trinity. I mean, that's what a trinity means, sir. Three things together. But what three things? Don't tell me it's wealth, fame, power. I mean, one of them is power, though, definitely. But you said envy before, and previously corruption. Or is covenant mixed in there? Let's see. Known as dominion. Shall I grant thee the power of God? In one step, thou wouldst go far beyond humanity. Pretty sure he's already there. Loki, fuck him up! I don't want it. Did you catch him off guard? Or did he fucking slip away? I avoided the impact. So God's dominion. That's your power? Sounds more like a deal with the devil to me. Is there a difference between a god and a devil? Well, that's like asking, is there a difference between good and evil? They are diametrically opposed. Well, we can dive deep into the intricacies of religious ideology or morality and shit, but let me fucking read the chapter first. But the whole deal with the devil thing, isn't that kinda similar to what you're getting when you're eating a devil fruit? So let's continue. Beats me. I just know I ain't gonna let myself be dominated by anyone. Hey yo, the world itself rejoices in a state of dominion. Isn't that right? Shit. Why am I watching Luffy in silhouette laugh while Imu in that veil in the background is laughing too? Wait. Are you even capable of laughing? So is that supposed to be a flashback with Joy Boy? Isn't that right? Joy Boy. What the fuck? What is that scream? We have a hacky blast going all the way to the school cafeteria. Luffy, are you still fucking eating? Finish your food, Luffy. I need more. Gotta eat more. I've never felt anything like this before. Wait, are you afraid, sir? It's so heavy. It's like I'm suffocating. What's with this guy's haki? If I don't eat all this, we can't win. Or you're eating more food than when you were in Impel Down, mummified, getting rid of Magellan's poison and shit. You still lost in thought? Loki caught him off guard. That tells me one thing. You're underestimating me. Surely seems that way. The Great One is bleeding. He's also crucified there, what the fuck? Nidhogg. Whoa, a rare sighting of Emu warring. Thorheim. What? Wait, you're smiling? You look like the guy from, the devil from Powerpuff Girls there. Thou really hast returned. A fearless smile. Emu is still throwing up gang signs. He's about to counter that Thorheim attack. So did he smile because he saw his beloved dragon once again? Is that your long-lost pet? Remember that Vegapunk, for some reason, was trying to create dragons in Punk Hazard. We never really learned why, or at whose request he was conducting those experiments. Plus, let's not fucking forget, the other experiments on gigantification, about which Emu said that power is dormant on... what did he say? I just read that. Come on. Dwells in all things. Or wait, did he say that? What was he referring to there? Well, I mean, since I already started, I guess it's time to reread this shit. I'm pretty sure I skimmed over a lot of stuff. This chapter is packed with crucial information, I feel like. So we have Loki reminiscing about his dad's death. But Emu claims he was actually hurt the most. Is that because you didn't add Elbaf to your collection of world government nations? By the way, is that what those dots on your body represent? One dot for each kingdom that has been assimilated. There should be about 170. Oh, and also, that dot pattern is also present on that empty throne chair. On the top. On that back cushion. Anyway, I like how he describes the brutal murder of Harald as an inconvenience right in front of his child. Well, I mean, Emu is not really portrayed as an empathetic figure. Then we get the signature D always brings a storm attack from Loki versus Emu. And now that I'm taking a closer look, I see around Ragnir there's some snowfall. But Emu tanks that shit, and without even using his ninjutsu, he just lifted up his arm. Then we delve into Emu's devil fruit powers, or just devil powers. First of all, he inflates his arm out of nowhere while utilizing another one of those omens, which he states is simply Mu's military might, the Triple M. So what the fuck is going on there? Did Emu get bigger? Because Loki mentions gigantification. And then Emu says, its power dwells in all things. Which is probably referring to Omen actually, not the giant DNA or whatever. But if that's the case, if Emu is referring to Omen as omnipresent, that would be kinda similar to Haki then. Which, is it fucking black or is it supposed to be invisible? By the way, now that I'm seeing the black devil cloud thing that Emu spawned up close with its mouth open, I'm pretty sure that's what we saw in Pangea Castle in the throne room. That shit was chasing Sabo when he came in to rescue Cobra, rest in peace. Now that would make sense, because that silhouette for Emu definitely doesn't fit now. Well, after Emu gets giant or whatever and intercepts Ragnir, he does a fucking pirouette, he spins in the air, and from the back of his glaive summons a sword or something. He does the Nemesis attack, which is pretty similar to Mihawk's sword, and even the pose there kind of reminds me of Mihawk in Marineford. I'm pretty sure he did something similar when he was chasing Luffy. By the way, this would be a great time for Loki to maybe, I don't know, Stop fighting blindfolded. At least Imu is using one of his eyes. No, wait, actually. He's using extra eyes. If we're counting those floating in the back. We're getting off track here. Imu starts his spiel about strength. He's saying corruption is the way for immense strength and shit. By submitting your will, forfeiting your willpower, your freedom, and sign the contract, a covenant. Similar to selling your soul, he says when their envy drives them, they'll achieve power. The use of the word envy there is peculiar. Do you mean jealousy? Or more like ill will? It's the dark side of will. Well, maybe it's something similar to what Blackbeard felt when he saw Thatch snatched his coveted devil fruit and he had to kill him to obtain the dark powers. So he committed murder in order to get more powerful. But also maybe he forfeited his will somehow because he said to Ace, I didn't have a choice. This power has chosen me. The power made the choice for him. Those three things form a trinity, known as Dominion. I'm not sure what the fuck that means, but the number 3 seems to be important. Remember that Imu can create 3 different types of covenants in 3 different levels. Also, he has those 3 skulls on his belt for some reason. By the way, another side tangent, Blackbeard also famously is deeply connected with the number 3. 3 skulls in his flag, 3 pistols on his waist, 3 claws on his weapon, 3 teeth missing from his mouth. I don't know about the last one, but you get the point. Imu offers the power of God, as he says, to Loki, but he answers back with a hammer to the face, so he rejects the devil. And Loki even says it sounds more like a deal with a devil than, God's power. To which Imu replies with a question. Is there a difference between a god and a devil? Let me answer that for you. Yes. What are you trying to say? That, it depends on your perspective. It's all relative. Who's the good guy and the bad guy? Well, I guess you can take that position. Like they're both sides of the same coin and shit. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm not a biblical scholar or anything, but didn't God create the devil? So there is, a hierarchy. And before you start saying, what the fuck, why are you talking about the Bible and shit? Remember Kuma's Bible? It didn't have fucking Nika on the front. It had someone like, I think it was like a female deity. Something like the Holy Mary or, I don't know, Mary Jo. Also, when Sabo was, narrating the whole Mary Jo events that transpired with him fleeing, wounded by Imu and shit, during that storytelling, Ivankov there, when he mentioned that one of the first 20 was Saint Imu of the House Nerona, he had a book opened that in the front it said Genesis on the front cover. Plus we got other stuff like the Adam tree, the Eve tree, freaking Noah. Even the devil fruits are inspired by the forbidden apple on the Garden of Eden. Or forbidden fruit. Was it stated that it was an apple specifically? I don't know. But my interpretation of that question from Imu is this. He's saying that the difference between a god and a devil, good and evil, is who the fuck is on top, you know what I mean? Like, in the Bible again, God banished the devil, right? From the heavens, from heaven. I'm not familiar with the specific details, but I know that the devil fell from the heavens. That's why he's called the fallen angel, right? Anyway, in this case, Imu is the one who remained on top of the red line. In Mary Joa, the Holy Land, and also all the celestial dragons have the saint honorific, and the residence of those saints is called Realm of the Gods, in which Imu reigns supreme, sitting on his godly empty throne. And he probably exiled Joy Boy, the original god, or Nika, In some way, I feel like the concepts, the realms, of the devil and the god flipped, and also heaven and hell in the One Piece world. Because, Mary Joy is supposed to be, again, the Holy Land, which would coincide with the heaven. But as we know, the Gorosei and this fucker are like demons and the devil, with those pentagrams and your devilish horns and shit. Also, when Sabo went there and faced all of them in their awakened zone forms, he said, I didn't know hell was gonna be up here on the top of the world. And if you consider this possibility, this scenario of the hell being on top and, the heaven should be, I don't know, on the bottom somewhere, the sunken ancient kingdom or something, at the bottom of the ocean, like Fishman Island. Anyway, if we consider that to be true, then the whole we need to flip the world upside down, that quote from Roger makes more sense now, right? And that's what Whitebeard said also, about finding the One Piece. It will turn the world upside down. Well, at least that's my view, my understanding after reading this chapter. I didn't have time to digest, to ruminate. So, let's continue. Oh, and another thing that I just thought about. Speaking of the whole God and Devil debate, this could be like a hint about the meaning of D. The D initial. This is potentially another point for the D means devil hypothesis. The will of the devil. Which would make sense if this guy is the god for his sworn enemies to be devils. I don't know if everyone would be the devil. Or the carriers of the will of the devil. Also, it would make the statement by Corazon back in Dressrosa about in some place they scare the children by telling them the D is gonna eat you if you don't finish your Brussels sprouts. I don't remember the full quote. Anyway, then we have another weird statement from Mr. Nerona. The world itself rejoices in a state of dominion, followed by a Joy Boy flashback. And from what I understand, they're both fucking laughing there, Emu and Joy Boy. Why are you talking about the whole world? Is this guy supposed to represent the world itself? But also, why is Emu and Joy Boy together, having a blast? Don't tell me you were part of his crew. Did you betray your captain, motherfucker? We have another Blackbeard situation. Emu yelling at the top of his lungs, seemingly also dropped the Shakespearean accent there, saying, isn't that right, Joy Boy? Well, for a long time, I've had this great super logical theory that the world of One Piece, in the end, will somehow smile, laugh. And I mean that shit literally. Like, after, the One Piece will be found and the weapons will be used and the war and all that shit, the Red Line will be destroyed or whatever. Obviously, the morphology of the planet will change. So my theory is that somehow, through that geological shift, a smile will be formed. Let me illustrate this shit better with an example. The world, as Vegapunk revealed, is built upon the older world, which drowned after the use of the ancient weapons, sunk the ancient cosmos, fucking 200 meters below the surface. So, we can imagine a possibility of the sea level dropping to uncover the ruins of that drowned world. And similar to Long Ring, Long Land, of which the shape changes based on the tides, the rise and the decline of the currents and, the ebb and flow. On the high tide, the island appears as a set of multiple islands, disjointed. But on the low tide, it's revealed that they're all interconnected. Anyway, something similar to that, which will reveal a smile. I'm saying all this as a theory, as a possible explanation of the thing that Emu said before, that the world would rejoice. But he said in dominion, so I don't know about that. Well, let's finish this shit, because this video is getting too long. Luffy's still feasting. still wolfing down shit. But this is like confirmation to me that they will fight, Luffy and Imu. And finally, we get to the last page. Again, Loki strikes back. At last, Imu got fucked up as well. He threw him half the country away to the Adam tree, actually, which caused Imu to shed some blood. I wonder if he's got regular blood or is he special? Because all celestial dragons kinda have that idea that their blood flow is different. Anyway, after seeing Nidhogg, Loki in dragon form with his own eyes this time, not through Gunko, he actually smiles, which looks pretty weird. But at least we know he has a range of emotion. Because for a long time he had that expressionless, I don't know, robot-like persona. And that's the chapter. Pretty fucking good, if I may say so. Imu was pretty dominant, but Loki also stood on business. I like it. But I'm pretty sure he has to lose now, inevitably. So Luffy will step up to finally challenge the king of the world. Well, until then, peace.